3% human beings, 7% Neanderthals. It's a scientific fact that Caucasian people share 98% of their DNA with chimps. So a lot of this stuff is not included in the phenotype statistics when you go to look it up. So, you know, a lot of that, like, you don't really hear me imprint that in people's heads because it's not right and exact. So when I touch on the subject, I'm going to let you know you're human or you're not. You can create whatever words you want to. You can be a Mongoloid, you can be a Negroid, you can be a Caucasoid, you can be any of that. But at the end of the day, all of those stem from the same branch. So when we want to deal with the totem pole, you have human, which is African. And then you have Dravidian. Because if we talk about Mongoloid, when we say Mongoloid, the first thing that a person's mind go to is a Chinaman.
Isn't it human nature that there's always someone that wants to be at the top? So let's say people barter, boom, boom, boom. Sooner or later, wouldn't it be human nature that someone would say, well, you're just growing food and I've got the textiles over here, so I need a little bit more of this for you to get this. And then someone says, well, technology over here, I need a little bit more of this to let your light stay on. Or, you know, isn't it just human nature, our human nature? Well, now, we're not talking about, let's take what we're talking about is the system that we're building. You know, isn't it our human nature to be that way? Because it all started with us. And the discontent started with us.
Well, I'll say I can't say specifically or with a huge degree of certainty that is the case. I can say that's what we've been taught, right? And it begins with the value system. So the value system teaches us that something has to be greater than something else. But when you look at something, I call it a perfectly broken system, right? Everything doesn't have to be defined in that way because you're not worried about the separate components, because the separate components by themselves almost have no value. So if we're looking at the overall total sum of what needs to happen, and that's basically our community, our family units, things of that nature, how the output of that comes.
Producer does not work with the artist because the artist is great. No, the producer / creator works because the producer / creator is. Because, you know, in actuality, translation, most people don't give a care about what anybody or their dreams or what if their dreams come to reality. So the person that is great is the creator and producer who does. And so that's the point. And so that's what we do at lordlandfilms.com. We make sure people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. And we keep it going and moving to leave legacies.
So, we decided to put her in a trunk and ship her to the US of A. I know. Wondering how we could do that. But we got the idea from Henry Box Brown. I read about him in a book. You know, he really was one really smart.
Well, the film review.
I got up to 355 pounds. And I stepped on that scale. I was like, wait a minute. I got off and I got back on. It said 355.1. I got off, I got back on 355.2. So I didn't want to get back on.
Okay, every step
was going on. Yes. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. Yes. But I have to do something. And it got real serious when I went to the doctor and he says, I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you want to live?
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made the curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart,
Welcome to TC's Real Crib!
of the film review. Hey, what's going on, people?
Happy 4th.
How you doing? Let's push this up. Let's get what we need behind us here. Yeah, there we go. Now we're playing with power, I guess. Yep. Here we are.
Yep.
This is another
Yeah.
great episode of the film review.
Yep. Happy 4th of July,
Movies,
everyone.
music, culture, politics, and society. And do we have a great show for you today?
Yeah.
As we turn up here, I'm trying to find out why I'm not hearing what I need to be hearing. All right, let's see. Look, we got a phone call off the rip. So we might as well not even wait for that. We might as well just go ahead and answer and see who this person is. 702.
I see y'all.
Hey, what's going on, IC? What's going on with you?
Oh man, just another day celebrating life in general, man, and family, man. You know what I'm saying? I got the DM, the inbox on Facebook. I said, let me call in on this good old anniversary for you, man. Congratulations to you and the wife be on the Tfr podcast, brother.
Oh, thank you. And of course, we know you're doing your thing with the radio. Tell them about your radio.
Yeah.
I see what I see, John.
Yeah, tell them about your radio show on Hot.
Man, Hot Like Jones, man, every Thursday morning, hot7025fm.com. You can catch us on Facebook as well on my page, i.c.jones, for the watch party. Man, today was a great morning. I had Carolyn Scott, superstar in her own right, R&B phenom, and then I had D Cross, doing this thing. And the hip-hop scene, man, both gave me some exclusive interviews this morning. And then I had my hot topic with Deacon T from Modern Word Ministries, man, one of my great friends and mentors in this gospel. So, man, I'm excited, man. I've been doing this thing since February. So, I'm excited to be at Hot 7025 FM. Actually, bro, I sent you a song to review that we're releasing on Saturday, man, called Victorious with myself and Leland. So, man, when you check your inbox, your email, I would love to get your ears because you're getting a great review on OG. So I clipped it, man. So I'll be waiting on that.
Okay. I have a question for you. Have you watched episode 3? Yeah. From the film review, music review show, because I have your video in there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering if you had watched, because I just put it in there, so it's rolling through volume 3 already.
Man, you've been showing so much love, bro. That's why I called in, man. You've been putting it down for us independent artists, bro. With you being on Roku, you know what I mean, doing your thing on a platform that's international, bro. I'm so proud of you and your life and what y'all doing, bro. Thank you for doing what you do, man.
Oh yeah,
it's amazing, bro, and I'm trying to keep up with everything, but you on my list, man. You're on the top of the list, bro, because you show the ultimate love. You don't have to, but you do, so I appreciate you.
Okay, what's going on with you and Is a Twin? I was waiting for that song to really pop off this summer.
Which one is that?
You and Is a Twin, the one that we did for the volume 1.
Oh, It's a Twin.
Yeah.
So, what happened with just the whole Camp Up God situation? It's hard for me to release those songs with the platform I have, being just a positive message out there, and no cuts and different things like that. So some of my guys in the camp, 4 out of 5 of the guys in the camp, man, they on a different level, and it's really hard for me to really do music like that. Quinn said F the police, and I got inboxes like, did you say that? I'm like, yeah, that's how he feels, but that's what happened with he and I. So we didn't necessarily go separate ways, but when it comes to the public eye, we put out different types of music. And that's what happened with that, to be honest with you, live on air, man. That's what happened.
Can I be candid with you on air? Because we had discussions off air. Can we go into some of the discussions that we had off air, on air? Can I go candid with you for a second?
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Okay. We had discussed about you staying positive, but moving into doing more what they would call secular hip hop music, right? And so did the pushback get people? Did the pushback kind of dampen your thought process on that? Because I thought that where you were going was going to be pretty good.
So what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to hit them extremely hard and I lose some people.
Okay.
Because at this moment I have some momentum, I have some great things going on, and so at the end of the day, I didn't want to hit them extremely hard over the head. I wanted to kind of soften the blow. So that's where I'm at with it, gently moving in that direction. And so putting out OGYG, the reception was mixed. There was some mixed reviews, and I think that was a light blow. But just him dropping the F-bomb and saying at the police, it's a general statement. You can't make a blatant statement like that with how I'm pushing in my movement, because it's not at all police. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you gotta, hand it to them. It's the crooked police. It's the ones that's killing us. But I have some friends that's policemen. I have some good people in the police force. So when you make a blatant statement like that, coming from my platform, it's kind of confusing.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I understand that. So what does the 4th of July mean to you before we let you go?
Just celebrating family, man. It's not even necessarily for my culture when it comes to our independence. Our independence was celebrated in June, for Juneteenth, and what we stand for. But it's still an American celebration for the country we live in. For me, man, it's just like another family reunion. It's another get-together outside of funerals and outside of Christmas and Thanksgiving. So I'm just happy to see my family, happy to be at the park, get some music, some food, and just hang out. So it just means celebration to me for family reunion.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for calling in and celebrating us our 1-year anniversary here. You know what I mean? And keep on doing what you're doing.
Man,
All right, so we're going to let you go. Thanks for calling, though, man. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Talk to y'all soon, man. Congratulations again on the anniversary.
Thank you. All right, people. So that was a pleasant surprise opening up. I said, well, why don't I just go on ahead to the phones, because we got one straight up. IC Jones, he's doing his thing.
Extremely talented,
right? And we got to get candid a little bit before we get started. Okay, people. So this is the film review. This is the 65th episode.
I can't believe it.
And it is the 1-year anniversary, as you've heard, of the film review, right? We had a little technical difficulties, but you don't know that because we're on and popping, you know what I mean? So listen, do we have a great show for you? Yeah. But before we get started, because I took that phone call first, I have to do the general opening. This is the film review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society. We are your hosts. I'm Crazy D.
Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society on the film review, right?
Yeah.
So listen, do we have a great show for you?
Yeah, good show.
Right? Spider-Man, Far From Home.
Yep.
Is it trash? We're going to be breaking it down for you. Also, we're going to be talking about The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yes, great independent film.
This could be something that's happening, right?
Right.
And I think that we're getting ready to put it into our top 4 for Best Picture of the Year for the film review, including The Public, Bowden, and Yardy. And we have a couple of more to go in there, but it's going to make great company to have all of these particular ones together, right?
We're going to discuss Tales Season 2 on
Tales.
BET.
Mm-hmm. And also we're going to talk about great storytelling, right?
Yep.
So, speaking of great storytelling, we're going to start with The Last Black Man.
Yes.
Right? So that's
In
what we're
San
going to start with.
Francisco.
In San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right?
Great cast.
Great cast.
Yeah.
Okay, so as we start out, let me say this. It is an independent film.
Yes.
It is produced by a production company that is doing quite a few great films out there.
Two great production companies.
Yeah, two great.
A24 and Plan B,
That's
which
right.
is Brad Pitt's
That's right.
production company.
A24 is a distribution and TV distribution company that makes sure that people get their product pushed across
the world.
Across the world, right? And then we have Brad Pitt's company, which is called
Plan B.
Plan B.
Yeah.
And they are bringing some of the most. They brought Bolden, didn't they? I'm not sure. But if I remember correctly, but they're bringing some of the great films, a lot of them that are in our selection for Best Picture.
Yeah, I know they brought Moonlight.
Moonlight, yeah.
And then they also brought 12 Years a Slave, Plan B.
Mm-hmm.
I believe also, what's the story? In New Orleans.
Bill Street. That's Memphis.
Which is actually Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis. Yeah. Bill Street. If Bill Street could talk.
Yeah.
That's not in the running because it was depressing at the end.
Yeah, but they produced.
Okay,
but this film, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, the director is Joe Talbot, and it's written by one of the writers. It's starring in the film, Jimmy Fails. Yeah.
That's right. Jimmy Fails, great actor. Also, Jonathan Majors. He plays his best friend, who is Montgomery.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Fails actually plays the title character is actually Jimmy Fails, but most of the time in the film it's called Jimmy. So let's open up about what the story is about, and then we'll get into more of the cast, right? So. Let me say first that the cinematography on this piece makes San Francisco another character in the piece. Okay, so San Francisco is a character in the piece. The way that they open up and they show you San Francisco, and you open up and it's open up with a monologue that's happening, right? And you're hearing this person speaking to you as they're showing you the different images of San Francisco. And then it comes into showing you them cleaning up, I guess it would be San Francisco Bay, that area, right? And they're cleaning it up, and you find later in the film, well, we don't want to give the film away too much because you have to go see this film, right? So they open up and they tell you this story, and then you see a man on the soapbox, and he's kicking it like a Father Divine or something like that, and he's kicking it and he's telling you the story of what's happening in San Francisco. And if this is if it's not apparent to you from the trailer, because the trailer pretty much tells you that this is another regentrification story, right? Much like a couple of different regentrification stories that we covered before, right? But so it opens up and it talks to you about regentrification, and he's telling you that why are they cleaning this up? This has been dirty. This water has been dirty and killing us for years. All of a sudden they're cleaning it up, right? So then you're introduced to the two main characters who are watching him, and they're having a conversation about him, which is Montgomery and Jimmy, right? And they're having a conversation about him, and they're wondering certain questions like, does he rehearse this? Does he wake up in the morning with this?
Right.
How does he go about doing this? And then it goes on, and then you learn something new about skateboarding that you didn't know could happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you're introduced to the house,
Yes.
which
It's a major character.
a
in the film.
major character in the film.
Yeah.
Not only is San Francisco a character, but the house that is in question within the film
Right.
is a major character in the film. You find out that Jimmy's need is to be there in the house that he grew up in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then the story kicks off from there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And I can't stress enough
Yeah.
the story,
Yeah.
the story writing, the narrative,
Beautiful.
the way that they pull back the layer of the onion. We have a term for it here at the film review. We call it, let me find it. It's called elements of the onion. That's the new the new phrase that I've coined. The elements of the onion. Peeling the onion back and exposing. At first you see these characters
Right.
and they're one-dimensional because they're just talking.
Right.
But then as this movie moves on,
Yeah.
the pacing incredible.
Yeah.
You start to introduce on what these particular persons do for a living,
Yep.
right? Then you're introduced to a funny character, a comic relief character, played by
Mike Epps.
Mike Epps, which is Bobby.
Yeah.
You're introduced to him,
Yeah.
and you realize in the story that these two men are basically homeless,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And as the story, because Bobby, played by Mike Epps,
Right.
gives you more background into the characters, right? And you find out that they are basically homeless,
Right.
and that this fight it has come about
Yeah.
due to not only regentrification, but then once you're introduced to Jimmy's father,
Yeah.
which is James Sr.,
Yeah.
who's played by Rob Morgan,
Yeah.
you find out what the real reason is,
Yeah.
right? And then you're introduced to the sister of James Sr., played by Tanisha Arnold.
Yeah, it's Tina.
Yeah.
Sheena Arnold.
Yeah. And what's her character's name?
You know, she's his aunt. She plays Jimmy's aunt.
Yeah.
And,
Wanda, I think it is. Yeah, Wanda. Wanda Fales is her character name. And so the way that they pull back the onion on this story, I mean, it is beautifully done. It is beautifully shot.
Yeah.
The color schemes within it.
Yeah.
It's like a movie within a movie.
Yeah, it is.
And it's actually an ensemble cast,
It
right?
is.
Let me come in and do some adjusting here. I don't like that, right?
And then beautiful acting.
Yeah.
The cinematography, like you said, the music also.
The music, yeah.
And then, like you said, the movie within the movie, because the scene with Jimmy and Montgomery, with Montgomery's father, played by Danny Glover.
Yes.
While they're watching films, but the films they're watching are all San Francisco-based films.
Yes.
So it's just beautifully
So it's
done.
film within film, and then there is actually stage play within it. So I mean, it's like it's bringing you all the different elements. And what I really like about the film is they show you not only the people who are within the regentrification, that are causing the regentrification,
right?
But they also show you different elements of black people.
Yeah.
Right? And so they show you different elements, and the Jimmy character is in between the element, the street element that they show you, and the element that Montgomery is from, which is he's more of a studious type person, who is a writer. He's an artist. He draws. I mean, it's just beautifully done, and they show you all elements of it. Now, You know, we here at the Film Review, we always are interested in the audience that comes in to watch the film.
Right.
Right? And so the audience that came in to watch the film, it was quite interesting, just to say the least, on the audience that came to watch the film. I will tell you. Yeah. So the audience that came to watch the film, how can I say it? We were the only black people in the theater.
Right, to see The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Right, so it was interesting, and the way that it was written by Jimmy, it's no other way to say it, but it pulls at you through the whole situation that this is a movement of loss. But at the same time, they give you the history of what was happening in San Francisco. And that neighborhood was once Japanese.
Right.
But once they put the Japanese into internment camps, during World War II, that opened up, which then allowed Jimmy's grandfather to come in and build a house. Right? Because he didn't want to take over what someone else had, so he built a house. And so this is what the whole crust of the story is.
Right.
And it kicks off from there, and it's beautifully written. All the characters, all the secondary characters, and the third moving the action along characters are all placed in the proper places.
Yeah, speaking of the cast, because the acting was so great, we mentioned Jimmy Fails, Jonathan Majors, Danny Glover, Tachina Arnold, Mike Epps, Robin Morgan, Willie Hinn, Jamal Truelove, Jordan Gomez, Isan Lalime, Javon Parker, and Anton Redis.
Right. And so all of them play a major part within it. Like Danny Glover plays Grandpa Allen. Right? And the reason why they talk, and it's so beautifully done, because this man, I don't know if he always had it. He's surface level. He's not three-dimensional. So he is who he is when you meet him. There is no development of him other than he is the person that let's say keeps them from being homeless. Right. But so you don't know, he's a blind person, and you don't know if he's been blind all his life, but he loves the movies.
Yeah, he does.
And so that's a beautiful piece.
And there were images in the film that led you to believe that he was once a sailor.
Yes, that's so maybe that's right. There's images in there because he was in San Francisco Bay, and possibly he was a sailor, right? And we picked up on those things. Beautifully shot. I just have to say that they let you in the clues into people's lives, right? I have to speak on Jamal Truelove.
Okay. Oh yeah.
He plays Kofi.
Yeah.
Kofi is a pivotal character that brings about the transition in the movie. Right? Kofi is an incredible character, an incredible supporting cast character that is set at the right time to deliver this message that needs to be delivered about what's happening in San Francisco. So you have to see this film. So for cinema, let me see if I went through everything. I want to make sure I have everything, right? The cinematography.
Beautiful.
Right? The way that they break down, the way they pull back the elements of the onion.
Right.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
The way that the characters develop and you get in there and you care for them.
Right.
That's a 10.
Yeah.
The conflict level. 10. The twist in the film that's totally unexpected.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a twist.
There's a twist.
There's a twist.
Right? And partly, once the twist happens, then all the dominoes start to fall,
Yeah.
and then there's a betrayal
Yes.
in it and everything. And so it is well worth seeing.
It
The
is.
last
Yeah. Black man.
the last black man
in
in
San
San Francisco.
Francisco.
Now, as you watch the film,
Right.
you're gonna ask yourself, who is the last man? The last black man in San Francisco.
Right.
And it's
And
gonna
then it's not
shock
who
you.
you would expect it to be.
Yeah, it's gonna shock you. So, what would you rate the film?
A 10, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely a
I
10.
give it a 10 also.
Yeah.
All right, so
It's going to be a classic. It's
You
a
know.
great film.
so we're celebrating our 1 year anniversary
Yes.
of the film review, right?
Time flies.
And we began originally on July 2nd. You can see all that in the archives on the film review on the Crazon Dion channel on YouTube. You can see all the archives. You can also see it on vimeo.com/showcases/ by Crazy D. You can also see many of the archives there, but you can definitely see episode 1, right? We talked about Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? A year ago, and then you fast forward, and Jay-Z and Beyonce are still doing it. Jay-Z named the first hip hop billionaire.
Yes.
Beyonce released Homecoming.
Yes.
So a year later, that's how you judge.
Getting ready to star in The Lion King.
The Lion King,
which premieres with July the 15th.
July the 15th. Can you believe it? So as this year went on, and then LeBron we talked about LeBron too in that first episode, and the Lakers. You know, he opened up and he's brought
as a school now.
Yeah, he opened up a school.
Yeah,
and he brought Anthony Davis over to the Lakers, and they're building the squad so they can have a winning season this season. So I mean, the people who are making it happen are still making it happen, and 1 year later we are still making it happen. Let me tell you, not only do we have the film review podcast live on the 65th episode that you're watching right now and listening to, we are simulcasting on Vimeo, on Facebook, and also on Blog Talk Radio, so you can call in. The call-in number is 213-943-3358, 213-943-3358. What does the 4th of July mean to you, and what interesting films have you seen? But not only are we on the 65th episode of Podcast Live, the film review, but also I have so many I have to write it down. The film review on the road. We're on the 14th episode coming up, right? We've got the Cleveland episode coming, which is the transition episode number 13. Then we have the 14th episode coming up, which we got to keep under wraps because it's going to be something special, because I'm featuring a person on that one. Then we have the film review Bars. It's coming up on the 5th episode. We went back to Cleveland for a homegoing, and I got MCs to come in and kick from Cleveland. So we're going to be intermingling Cleveland with other people from around the country, and that's called Bars. That's what we have. MCs kick 12 to 16 bars, right? Of their stuff. We edit it up into a nice package. Plays on the IG channel, on Vimeo, on Roku, on Facebook, on all the different platforms, right? And you can see us globally by on your smart TV by downloading or your Roku devices by downloading the Vimeo app or the YouTube app, viewer choice, right? And then you just search Lordland Films,
and you can watch everything that we do.
Yep.
Because we're here to make sure that people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated.
From movies to independent films.
That's right.
Now, The Lion King, I was rushing it.
Okay.
It's July 18th.
July 18th. Yeah, don't rush it.
So starring with Beyonce, Danny Glover, like a huge cast.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen, huge. Alfred Ritter, huge cast.
Yeah. Then we have the film review music review show. That's what we were just talking about with I.C. Jones, right? Yeah. And so we have that, and that's up, and we're introducing a totally new show that's going to be debuting soon called the Film Review Talk Live, where we talk to you, we talk about topics, and you call in. That's going to be simulcasting over YouTube and Vimeo, replaying on Facebook and all the other platforms. SoundCloud is going to be audio, and everything that we do is audio and video. You can see it, hear it on Mixcloud. You can hear it on SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? All the listings is in the description, where you can click right to it and watch and listen to the replays or watch this replay, right? So we're doing our thing, so it's expanding. And for all the people who want to advertise, we have to shout out to TC's Barbecue Crib. Let me do some. Let me see if I can do some magic here, real quick. Let's see if I can pull this off real quick. Listen, it is the 4th of July, right? It's the 4th of July,
nice.
right?
Nice.
Let me put this right here. Let me bring this down. It's the 4th of July. And let me just move this to the side real quick. Let me go right here so that we don't have any. What am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do here? Okay, this is just gonna have to hit for a second, right? All right, so this is what's happening, right? We are celebrating because it is the 4th of July, and TC's right here is the 4th of July, and you go right to TC's Barbecue Crib, you know what I'm saying? 3655 South Durango Drive, Las Vegas, Nevada, and you mention the film review, and you get a discount on one full meal at TC's Barbecue Crib. Or let me show you this as we do this film magic here, right? So we're gonna bring this down right here. We're going to bring this up right here as we work through it. You know what I mean? All right? So we're going to bring this up so that you can know what the telephone number is, right? And let me move out the way of it.
702-451 RIBS.
RIBS, that's right. 702-451 RIBS. You can get in your order today for the holiday, for the 4th of July. You can have your ribs, you can have your chicken. They got a mean turkey burger over there.
They do.
I know, you know, but we want to tell the people.
And breakfast, chicken and waffles.
The breakfast, chicken and waffles. So we want to tell the people. We want to tell the various advertisers, right? Come on and advertise with us, right? And you'll be right on the film review because we're making it happen. We you know, Crazy D is always looking for the technology to put things across. You know, back on July 2nd, we started out coming from the store where I was picking up items that was going to make it happen, make us have the ability to do this with what we're doing right now, right? And so that's what we want to say, that we make sure that things happen so that people can be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. And that's what we do, and that's what we hope that you appreciate what we do, what we bring to the table here, right? So we want to say that, so we got that out the way. All right, now.
What's your next film? Was Spider-Man?
The next film. Spider-Man Far From Home. Is Spider-Man Far From Home trash? Let me just say it like this so this will be clear. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is better.
It is a cartoon. It's not live action, but I'm going to tell you straight up off the rip that it is better. If you're a Spider-Man fan, wait for them to knock the kinks out. I'm going to tell you, and we're going to break it down. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. And then I'm going to tell you at the end of this if Spider-Man Far From Home is trash. But let me tell you, Miles Morales, you know, Into the Spider-Verse,
which we reviewed.
You can go back and watch that. Is a better film all the way around. The structure, the writing, the bringing him from being unsure of himself into being who he is and coming out and being one of the best Spider-Man that there is, right? This one, however, is not that, right? So let's run it down, right? So I already told you this better. Culturally, this film, Far From Home, Spider-Man, is off kilter. Okay. Right? You got the cast? Let's go through the cast real quick.
Great cast. Starring Spider-Man, starring Tom Holland. He plays Spider-Man. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Mysterio. Zendaya's in the film. She plays Mary Jane. Samuel Jackson is with Nick Fury. Jacob Batalon. Marissa Tomei. Marissa Tomei, she plays Aunt May.
Yes.
J.B. Smoove is also in the film, as well as John Favreau.
Okay. J.B. Smoove's character, we'll come back to that. All right, that's what I'll say about that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about what's going to happen with Miles Morales in the second Spider-Man because of what I saw them doing with J.B. Smoove. Okay. Which doesn't bode well. I can tell you that, to me, my opinion, Stan Lee may have been in this system. Right. It is a white supremacy system, and he worked hard and he worked his way up, and there may have been black men who could draw that were put to the side and it was given to him, you know, but he made the best of it. So to me, even though we're in this white supremacy system where that happens, to me, Stan Lee was not a racist. His heart, the way that he explored and brought new characters, many of them based on African folk tales, right? This Spider-Man is not that. Far From Home is not that, right? To have the cast that it had, right? We already know that Spider-Man as a person, he's been on a whole nother planet. Right. You know, he dissolved and came back. Right. He had already been through the awkward stages, so for them to create a whole nother film where he's awkward through the whole film, he's just awkward, bumbling, stumbling, trying to have a romance in the middle of the film. People find out who he is. You know, like the love interest had an interest and it has a thought process that is possible, and then she finds out it's just totally against the mythos of Spider-Man, which is a problem, right? This particular one, because you know, you see the trailer and they say, "Are you the new Iron Man?" Yeah. Right. Right. Okay, I don't know why it keeps doing that, but anyway, we're gonna go. Are you the new Iron Man? Right. Right. Yeah. They ask, are you the new Iron Man? Right? And then he says he's running from it throughout the whole movie. Right. So is this the movie that they're starting with to start the new
calling back into a live show. We are reconnecting you now.
Okay, so are they trying to make this the return to?
No, because Mysterio, to me, even though his character had more of a presence than Spider-Man's. I don't know if it was the acting, because Jake Gyllenhaal is a great actor, but I mean, his character was more, he was more confident than Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man character in this one swings around aimlessly.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what's going on. I'm just running through the character first, right?
Right.
And this is supposed to, because you know, Iron Man kicked off the 10 years of Marvel that ended with the End Game, right?
Right.
He kicked that off.
Right.
Then this, by the trailer, this was supposed to represent Spider-Man being the first film that kicks off the next 10 years.
Yeah. Coming into his own, I thought.
No, but I mean, it kicks off this is supposed to be the flagship film that's supposed to kick off the next 10 years of Marvel, right? And for those who are too young to remember, there was a time when Marvel was really, the graphics wasn't there. It was a little bit too campy. It just didn't hit it. And then they hit it all of a sudden 10 years ago, right? Yeah. They hit it with Iron Man. Yeah. Then came Captain America, and then it went on and went on. And the DC universe didn't quite catch until they did Suicide Squad, right? To me, they haven't caught yet, right? We'll see what the Joker does this time, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They weren't able to sustain since the early 1989 Batman, those Batman that kept changing Batmans, and you're like, well, what's going on with that? So they can't sustain. They keep changing Superman. You can't sustain with that, right? And so they kind of hitting with Wonder Woman on the DC and with the Suicide Squad. But with this is supposed to be the kickoff of the next 10 years. You got an unsure hero, right? And just the whole thing, like when Peter Parker was a kid, but he would put on the voice to say, when he gets up there, he's saying, "Hi, I mean, come on, man, really?" He's swinging aimlessly. Okay, now the storyline. There are these elements that come to pass. Now, this is part of, like, you know, kind of like African folklore, the different elements, right? And these elements they come from out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden this person comes from out of nowhere called Mysterio. That's what you'll see how he comes about,
and who names him.
Right. And he comes from out of nowhere, and the fight sequences, to me, I was sitting there and say, something isn't right about this, right? And the fight sequences are strange, you know, and it kind of like drags in the film, right? And it drags. So it's not just strange because what you find out later in the film, it's just strange for a Marvel film, right?
Yeah, I don't think the writing was good.
Right. No, the writing, the action, okay, the graphics and all that CGI, they got that. Okay. But it got campy.
The cast was great.
Well, the cast was great.
The storyline.
But what they had to work with was not good.
Right.
The writers need to go back to the drawing board, because what they had to work with as actors was not good. The direction doesn't seem like it's the best.
I don't like what they did with Samuel Jackson.
That's what I was coming up with.
Nick
number
Fury.
5.
I mean, his character is unlike
any Nick Fury before, played by Samuel L. Jackson. He seems discombobulated.
He turns him into like a joke.
Yeah, he turned him into a joke. It's like the main superhero, Spider-Man, disrespects him.
Right.
He's relying too much on the Mysterio character.
They wrote him clueless.
They wrote him clueless.
So what's going on?
That's why I'm saying I'm feeling so. And what they did with Smooth,
oh my
CL
God,
Smooth,
JB Smooth,
yeah. He was just CL Smooth. He's the rapper. JL Smooth, JB Smooth, JL. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, JB Smooth. I can't even pronounce his name right because all throughout the film
They had him
The way they
buffooning.
rolled
They had
him
him
was
buffoon. It's buffoonery
Yeah.
in the film, right? He's supposed to be a teacher, but yet he's buffooning in this picture. I mean,
Right.
just my opinion. So, like I said, that's why I'm saying Miles Morales may not be, because they had announced a new director, right, months ago, right? And Stan Lee is dead, right? So Stan Lee had he saw this film,
It wouldn't have. This is
he
not
would
the
have
same
put
film
he
that
would
would
have
have
put
came
some
out.
he would have put some X's on some of this. Like, it's too long. It's too long for Spider-Man to
Right.
be that bumbling throughout the film, right? Which comes to Stan Lee. No cameo
Right.
of Stan Lee in the film. Now, we know Stan Lee has passed, and I remember the Miles Morales was the last one. The Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was the last one, and he had an extensive piece in there as everybody should have seen this now, so this shouldn't be a spoiler, as a corner store owner,
Right.
and he was telling Miles Morales, that he should, he have confidence and build himself up, and he was giving him a morale talk right in the middle, and that's the last time that you will see. I believe you're going to see Stan Lee in the film, but no Stan Lee cameo. They should have had some in reserve. They should have had these stories laid out, right? So they really don't. They really don't have the man who was the captain of the ship,
Right.
and whoever the captain of the ship is now. I'm questioning their ability to bring it home right now with this. Because if this is the beginning of the next 10 years,
Robert
of Marvel,
Downey Jr. made a smart decision in resigning as Iron Man when he did.
which brings us back to number 7. We've been going in order, which brings us back to number 7. Not a good way to kick off the next 10 years of Marvel. It's not a good way to kick off the next 10 years of Marvel.
Because you know how Spider-Man would be kind of like clever. In his wordplay, and it was none of that in this film.
Yeah, not rude.
Not
rude like how he is to Samuel L. Jackson's character. He was clever.
Right,
not rude, right?
Kind of like how, Deadpool has that, like, clever tongue.
Right?
Like,
Clever
kinda,
tongue.
And Spider-Man used to be kind of cool. Like, kind of... This Spider-Man, I don't know. It's just...
Which brings us to number 8. I got a feeling, I kept alluding to it, but I believe that Miles Morales, the next cartoon version, the action cartoon version that comes out,
hopefully they stick with the same writers.
They're going to be having...
As they did in the Spider-Verse, right?
Right. They're going to have a lot of... I'm fearing that they're going to have a lot of stereotypes.
Yeah.
The Miles Morales character, Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, was intelligent. The writing was intelligent. All the characters were above board. There was no cooning in it.
Yeah.
And I can see that Hollywood is going to creep their way into Marvel. Because in all the other Marvel films, there was no cooning. But soon as Stan Lee passes, all of a sudden JB Smoove is running through the thing, buffooning. I'm trying not to say that he was cooning, but it's buffooning. And I mean, I don't understand that. And the rudeness towards the Nick Fury character. Right.
Poor writing. Just poor writing. Long as they keep the writers separate, the Miles Morales Spider-Verse
separate.
Keep that separate. Do not mix it in with this.
What's going on right now, right? So, for all those who did not see the Shaft movie, I would say go see another Samuel L. Jackson film that Samuel L. is
Shaft
in.
was better than this.
Shaft
way better.
was better than this, and it was only number 5 at the box office.
It's crazy,
but it was better than this, right? So it's going to make its money, but unlike the previous Marvels. Now this film went across the country, and the old Hollywood model of making black people buffoons creeped its way into this one after Stan Lee died. That's all I'm saying to you. So you have to look at what you're looking at, and you have to say they're getting ready to bring stereotypes into this because
So I'm disappointed in it. So now, the CGI, all that, the graphics, good. The storyline, the narrative of what was happening with those graphics, poor. That is a 1. I've never given a 1 before. That was a 1. The character development, great acting. I'm gonna tell you, the acting of what they were given, they delivered on what they were given. That's a 10. Acting.
Yes, and they did a great job also.
The way that the characters were developed and how things were discovered.
Right.
Horrible writing. 1. Horrible. The costuming of Mysterio, it looked campy.
Oh yeah.
That's a 0. What happens at the end of the film? Because at the end of Endgame, there was no afterwards because they don't know where they're going. They literally don't know where they're going with Marvel. And I hope that they come with another film with another marquee hero where they can start this. Do not kick off the franchise for the next 10 years with this Spider-Man. Do not do that.
Oh God, right? What are they gonna do with the Black Panther? Oh.
What are they gonna do with the They're probably gonna have Black Panther dancing around the fire with some anklets and some bracelets on, doing some kind of ritual dance. I can just see this. They're getting ready to take it. They're getting ready to take it back to what Paul Robeson objected to, even though he acted in it. You see what I'm saying? So we can see where it is. The heart. It's the heart of the person. It's the person. Yeah. It's the heart of Stan Lee. Right? That's not there anymore. Right?
I feel like when he passed away, someone said, "Well, you know how some people are. I want to. Okay, this is who I want to switch. I want to switch the head of costume design. I want to switch the head writer. I need to. You can just tell. I mean, because nothing is.
It's not like Stan Lee was like total in control of everything that was done. But I'm sure he came across that. Well, we wouldn't quite do it like that.
Right.
And then the writers would say, he was invested. We wouldn't quite do it like that. Plus, he wouldn't stand up there in front of a film that he didn't give his 2 thumbs up, approval 10 toes down.
This is kind of like, it just seemed like it was just like thrown out there to make money. And just because, based on it's attached to what, Marvel?
Yeah.
People are going to go out and see it, so we don't have to put as much effort into it.
Yeah.
So it's just, and it showed. I mean, because the funny thing is before we entered the theater, I was looking at the faces of the people who left the theater.
Before
us. And I got this feeling, I said, I don't know, they don't look like they like the film.
Yeah, they weren't coming out talking or
nothing.
Anything.
And then so when we left, I said, okay, I got it. Yeah, the people didn't like it.
They didn't like it. This right here would be like, this would be worse. Well, it's not worse. Let me tell you what would be better. Okay. And you can see this on YouTube. If you go and you search Electric Company, and you type in Electric Company, it used to be a kids educational show that would come on. For us, it was WVIZ PBS, right? Channel 25 for us.
Yeah.
And Morgan Freeman was on there.
Yeah.
Rita Moreno was on there.
Yeah.
And they would teach you, like word phrases.
Right.
Sesame Street was one thing. It taught you the alphabet and numbers.
Right.
Electric Company taught you word phrases, how to break down verbs, nouns, adjectives, subjects, objects within sentences. That's what they did, right? So Morgan Freeman was just genius on there. Rita Moreno was genius on there. But they had segments. And they had segments of Spider-Man on there. And if you look up Electric Company Spider-Man, you will see this. Spider-Man didn't talk, but he had word bubbles. Right? And so you wouldn't hear him talk, but you would see the word bubbles, and you would hear somebody narrating him saying something, you would hear the see the word bubbles, right? But he didn't speak; he just did the movements, right?
Right.
Hilarious,
Yeah.
so hilarious, and to the point, and it got the point across.
Right.
This, and it was simple though, like you didn't
Right.
see him climbing walls.
Right.
Even the TV version where you saw Spider-Man climbing slow up the wall would be better than this in the technical writing of the episodic villains, or let's say an episodic villain, one episodic villain up against the villain that they put there for Spider-Man to, I guess he was to come of age, but he didn't come of age. And the ending, after you get to the end of the film and it comes back, the ending is just unbelievable. And you will see and you will say, what?
The previous Spider-Man was better, but then
Stan
Lee had his hand on that.
You know, he was the previous Spider-Man. He was witty. The movie with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, that was also good.
Yeah, that was. I'm saying that's the same one. That was the last one before they switched to bring him younger.
Oh, and there was
right?
that one also then, right?
No, that
she was in
that,
too.
No.
Well, the Spider-Man before that, when he went to Homecoming, you remember?
Okay, right. That was good. That's
that
when
was
he
good
first.
also.
That's the reboot. I'm talking about the one previous to that.
Okay.
When he was fighting the Jamie Foxx character, and he loses his girlfriend in that one. Remember the web?
Oh yeah.
And she smacks, and he couldn't get her in time.
Yeah.
And that was beautifully written.
Right.
The action sequences, the narrative made sense. We've already seen Spider-Man, this new incarnation, this reboot. We've already seen him be bumbling and learn his lessons and everything, and Stark pick him up. Tony Stark pick him up. He's been on planets. He's been dissolved, and for the things to happen in the story the way it happened, he seemed more intelligent than that.
You would think. But so what would you rate it?
Let's see. I've already said there once.
Yes.
I got so it's not enjoyable. It's not. I don't know if it's enjoyable for kids. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't think.
I mean, you know, the kids that I saw in the parking lot. You remember, I saw the mother with her 3 sons, and the kids did not seem happy at all.
Right. So I don't think, because the kids are used to seeing superheroes that do their thing, right? And people are used to Spider-Man doing his thing, because he did his thing fighting in the end, before the end. What was the one before the end game? With the whatever, but he was fighting and doing his thing, and for him to see there, I don't think the kids were interested. I don't think because the parents, we come back from seeing this in the 70s,
right?
We seen it on TV in the late 70s, early 80s, and then we saw them trying to work on it and finally getting it to where it is now. So I'm giving it a 1. It's a 1 across the board on everything except for the acting, because they did what they could with what they had. I give them a 10. But the way Samuel L. Jackson brought Nick Fury down to make him more regular, he's not that pumped up guy.
Strong character, like the head of the Avengers.
Right.
No.
He did what the director told him to do, so that's masterful. 10. Zendaya, the way her character was, that's a 10. That what they were given, they did good with. Other than that, the storyline, the action sequences, all that, I give that a 1 because it didn't make sense and it was not entertaining. They got their money, but it was not entertaining. They need some new writers, and they need to kick the bigots out and keep this universe of Marvel what it is, above board, without the racist tropes. It's full of racist tropes.
It's not the same energy that I saw with Aladdin, at the end of Aladdin.
That's
the children and stuff.
That's
like in the parking lot, I could tell the parents, didn't really, all of the adults, because some people didn't come with kids, so not parents, but the adults. But I kind of zoned in. I noticed that the children, specifically the people who were parked near us when we were going in the theater, they were leaving out. And those little boys, they just didn't seem to be into it. And I could tell that all of the adults, in the parking lot weren't either. But with the children, compared to after the end of Aladdin, you had kids in the parking lot singing, and I talked to you about the little girl that was in the bathroom washing her hands and singing, and just, the energy is just different. So, I don't even know if kids are like
Spider-Man didn't even have a catchphrase. He didn't.
Yeah.
There were no catchphrases in the film.
Right.
It was just certain elements that were left out, and you can tell that the Stan Lee's hand wasn't on it.
Yeah, it's just.
And it's a shame that, in my opinion,
Felt like a
Stan
money
Lee
grab.
didn't have someone that studied him,
Right.
an offspring that could continue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it may jump a generation.
Yeah.
But so it's a 1. What would you rate it?
I agree with you. Everything you said, you gave it a 1. I would give it at least a 4. I would give it a 4. And
was it entertaining?
I was entertained by the actors, right?
Was it entertaining? The storyline. The storyline is the most.
Well, you know what? There were like areas that were entertaining, but like I wasn't entertained by the so-called fight between Spider-Man and the villain. Like normally that's the exciting part of it.
Because this dude, let me tell you something. Spider-Man, this incarnation of it, he was getting bang, bang, smash, da, da, da.
Yeah.
I
don't even want to give it away, and he was getting banged by. Wait till you see it.
That's
not even what you think it is.
It's not even what you think it is.
It's not even what you think it is. Believe me, but But the acting was good, and the CGI was good, and
but that doesn't count for plot line narration,
right?
Because
and the battles was horrible.
Because yes, so the CGI.
So when we say CGI,
down,
we just like
special effects.
We just like the little special effects, but not like the special effects battle. Like the battle was just like weak.
It makes no sense.
It was crazy. Like the storyline. Wait till you see the film. But this next one. I can't wait to get to.
It's just like, and Jake Gyllenhaal is a great actor,
yeah,
and he did what he could with the line, because the lines were the script, the words, the lines that they had to say, just the way that they hatched the character and developed the character, his character in particular, horrible. Yeah. That's a 1. Is Spider-Man Far From Home trash? The answer, yes. It is trash. Let me get close to the camera. Yes, it is trash. You go back, go see Shaft, go see Aladdin, go see something. But the money is already made, but I'm telling you, they need to come better. Just for the racist tropes alone, and they have never. That's why I enjoy going to Marvel films, because there was no racist tropes, and now Falcon is now Captain America, and I'm
gonna have him flying into buildings.
I'm just trying to figure out what they're gonna do with Kevin Mackey.
Yeah,
this is gonna be they need better writing, and they need to leave the racist tropes where they are. So people.
But what was great?
No.
Tales Season 2 on BET. The title episode is called Brothers, written by Robert Munich, directed by Irv Gotti, featuring Kanye West and Charlie Wilson's song titled Brothers.
Okay, now listen, people.
Excellent.
Irv Gotti has a hit on his hand. First season was the warm-up,
which was great,
right? But this was the sophomore season, right? Yeah. So the sophomore jinx was possibly on, but he comes with a 2-hour presentation that could be in the movie
better
theater.
Than Spider-Man, okay?
The acting in it, superb. The storyline, 2 brothers, with that had at one time the same love interest.
Yes.
One went down the wrong side of the tracks. The other one stayed on the narrow tracks.
Yeah.
Right? And the way that they tell, the way that the story is told, the way that the elements of the onion is pulled back.
Right.
It's incredible. You got the cast?
Yep, the cast. Great cast. Starring Thomas Q. Jones, Elijah Kelly, and Drea Michelle.
Now, I have to give Drea much props.
Yeah.
I have to give
We know Drea from Basketball Wives.
That's where she started from, right?
She's been in really, really, really good films since then. But this episode, Brothers, she did her stuff. She did an excellent job in this episode.
She made the decision to leave Basketball Wives because it appeared to us, so we watched it, that they were jealous of her, right?
Yeah.
And so she made the move, and then she moved right over into acting, and her acting chops are quite good.
And you can tell she worked on it.
She worked
on it. You know, she did a great job, because I remember an article or something, and when acting school, or as a matter of fact, on an episode of Basketball Wives, I believe she talked about
going to
acting school. Yeah, so excellent job.
Excellent. The storyline is incredible. This season of Tales is going to be great on BET, right? And Kanye West, you know, okaying the record, Irv Gotti said on an interview that opened the door for him then to be able to take it to MTV. So it could simulcast on MTV.
And VH1.
With the flagship being BET, right? All Viacom owned stations, right? But so Kanye West did him a solid. Right? And so here we are. So you have to watch the first. It's a 2-hour, and I'm sure they're going to show it over and over and over again. You have to catch it. It is. BET has a lot of shows. Right? I have to say that this is going to be one of their top shows, dramatic drama shows, based on hip hop music, based on storylines written from off of hip hop music. And so, what would you rate?
Oh, please,
Tales?
a 10. I would definitely. I mean, because the cinematography was great, the music was great, the acting was great, costume and design. Like great, everything fit the mood. Like from the beauty salon to with the precinct, when they were in the gym, just everything, just
Lisa
well done.
Lisa
Ray is in the film. She also,
plays. Right? See, it's a film.
She played Drea's aunt.
It may be episodic and have,
but it's a film.
It's a film. Great it had movie. Commercials, but it's a film. And Lisa Ray brought her A game.
Yeah, she did.
As the aunt.
She sure did.
You know what I mean? So everything was believable. Right? So I'm giving it a 10.
Yeah, me too.
So
Irv Gotti did a great job directing.
Did a great job directing. Right?
Yeah. You can tell he's invested.
He's invested in this.
So if you didn't see season 1, definitely watch season 1. Matter of fact, they did a marathon. Like the day before they did the premiere.
Right.
So we were able to watch episodes that we had saw already. We watched them again because it's so good, season 1. So definitely, you have to check out season 2, Brothers. They did a great job. I'd give it a 10.
Yes, 10.
Yeah.
All right, people. So this has been the 1-year anniversary show of the film review. Movies, music, culture, politics, and society. Right? We can't believe it's been 1 year. Right? But you'll be able to see the replays on Facebook. You'll be able to see the replays on Vimeo. You'll be able to see the replays on your Roku devices, on your smart TVs by downloading the YouTube and the Vimeo app, your viewer's choice. Search Lordland Films, and you will watch everything that we do. Our short films, our documentaries, our everything. You know what I mean? This has been a pleasure bringing this to you today. We wish that we could have been able to say something better about Spider-Man.
Well, that's okay because Tales season 2, Brothers is excellent, as well as the last black man in San Francisco.
That's right. So you have been watching the film review, Movies, Music, Culture, Politics, and Society. We are the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
I'm Tracy.
And we review movies, music, culture, politics, and society. And we will see you next time on the film review. And let me end it a little bit like this.
Have a happy 4th.
Movie, why I made the curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe. Community, heart, Here's the thing about your movie, why I made the curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe. Community, heart, crazy.